Now I would like to introduce Elissa Barrett. We get some good people here, people. She is the Chief Innovation and Advancement Officer for Treepeople. Come on in.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. And Stacy and Wendy, thank you for asking me to join you. And thank you to everyone else who's spoken tonight. I want you to just close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath. Imagine yourself at a place of nature. Are you wearing shoes? Are you barefoot? Is there wind? Can you hear ocean? Can you hear the leaves in the trees? What does it smell like? Are you deriving strength from the place that you are? I know for me, on Wednesday morning, my solace was that I got to get up and go to work. And my office is a park. And my desk is in a yurt. It's right here in LA. And the staff was very upset. We formed a circle. We took off our shoes, put our feet in the earth, and we formed this very strong bond of people who were coming together. And we have people on our staff that are of all different races and ages and religions and national origin and ability and sexual and gender orientation. And we came together in that moment. And the thing that unified us was our understanding that nature can be a source of nourishment and strength for us. And that we also, as the environment is there for us, we need to be there for the environment. So the first type of action I'm going to invite you to is that Treepeople is going to be having a hike for healing on the day after Thanksgiving, which a lot of groups are calling Green Day, Green Friday, instead of Black Friday. So also hashtag #OptOutdoors for the Twitter users among us. And we're going to start at the base of Fryman Canyon. We're going to walk up a really tall hill because change is hard and you sweat and you go around each bend and you think, God damn it, aren't we at the top of this hill yet? We're not. And then we're going to sit in our outdoor amphitheater and do a group meditation. And then we'll be talking about ways that people can get involved. That's the first thing I want to talk about. Second thing is I want to tell you a story about a city. And in this city, the weather changed. And there was a drought. And the trees began to die. And the rain stopped falling from the sky. And elderly people and people with chronic illnesses and in parts of the city where there was no beautiful tree canopy like we have here in Sherman Oaks, people began to die. And in government, nationally, that city and the country that it's in, they had a very far-right conservative government that didn't believe in climate change, that thought climate change was a hoax. It wasn't caused by us and there's nothing we can do about it. And the people and the businesses and the government in that city came together and they said, we are going to change what we do. We're going to change what we do every day as individuals, and we're going to change the infrastructure in our city. And we're going to invest in green infrastructure. We're going to have gray water systems, and we're going to have stormwater capture, which means capturing the rain from the sky. And we're going to get in there, we're going to plant a lot of trees, and we're going to create shade that's going to lower the temperature in our schools and our houses. And they did it. Does anybody know the name of the city? No. Where? It's not in the United States.
Kenya? It's in Australia.
No. One more guess. Melbourne, Australia.
Oh my God.
And there are many other cities like this around the world. And so I too am very angry right now. I'm angry that someone and Tree People is nonpartisan. Okay, we welcome all. That's always been our strength, is we all have one planet, and it's same air, same water, same earth, right? No matter who you vote for, right? We're all on the same planet. There's only one planet. But we have an opportunity before us to take action here in LA. They did it in Melbourne, and they've done it in other cities. At Treepeople, we've been working with the 3 largest water agencies almost in the country: DWP, LA Sanitation, and the LA County Flood Control District. And they've never worked together before. And they didn't even know. And they didn't even know. We asked them, so I know we're in this drought and we usually get 12 inches of rain, and now we have 4 inches of rain, and do you guys actually know how much water that is across LA County? And they said, no, we have no idea. We said, would you hire us to get the answer to that question? And they said yes, and so we found out it's 14 billion gallons of water. 4 inches of rain in the course of a year is 14 billion gallons of water. We flush 12 billion of it into the ocean. Yeah. Also, a tree that has a full canopy, like the beautiful oak trees that you see here in parts of the valley, or the sycamores or the jacarandas, in a flood, it can capture 130,000 gallons of water. And if it's next to your house or next to a school, it can lower the temperature by 10 degrees. Here's another thing I've learned. The amount of energy it takes to pump water from Sacramento and Colorado to Los Angeles is the single largest use of electricity in the state of California. It is the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions, and we are the 6th largest economy on the planet. So if you don't think that what you do in Los Angeles makes a difference in the world, guess again, it matters a lot. Now, I'm not saying that we should be okay with Donald Trump appointing Myron Abel, who is a renowned climate change skeptic.
Not a scientist.
Not a scientist, to the Environmental Protection Agency. I'm not saying that we should be okay with the United States pulling out of the Paris Accords after taking almost 2 decades to rebuild ourselves after George Bush pulled us out of the Kyoto Accords. I am not saying that any of us should be okay with any of that. I am not okay with that. I am not okay, and there are wonderful groups that are fighting on the national level. You should decide which one of them you want to support. There are many, they're wonderful. Sierra Club, National Resources Defense Council, they're great groups. Join them, support them, like Planned Parenthood. Support these groups, are important, but also get involved here in LA. Get involved. You can get involved with Treepeople. We're out there almost every weekend. We're planting trees all during the winter. Then we're back out there during the summer, watering those trees and keeping them alive. And we're not just doing it in neighborhoods that are already green, because we have a responsibility. If there's one thing that we all had the veil pulled finally and fully and so completely from our eyes, is that racism and economic inequality are huge issues in America, and they have not been healed and they have not gone away. And if you look at a data map, and our team is working on this, a picture that we're hoping to share with everyone, and you look at poor air quality, highest temperatures in the county, lowest tree canopy, highest child poverty rates, and the lines of housing segregation before the passage of the Fair Housing Act, do they all overlap? Yes, they do. And so part of what we've taken on at Treepeople is a responsibility to make sure that every kid in every neighborhood can walk down the street and they know that our society values them because they have a green place in their neighborhood, not just something in our neighborhood that they might drive through. Every neighborhood, every kid. You know, we just passed new state science standards so that every school kid in California is going to get to learn about the environment. We now are going to have statewide environmental literacy in every school in California. But, you know, change has got to happen at a local level. So I'm going to leave you with this. You know, we were talking to folks in city council and they said, oh, it's so great, we passed Measure A, right? Yay, good, LA, pass Measure A, more city parks. And we passed Measure M, public transportation. Treepeople wrote in a prep that says you have to green the streets leading up to all the subway stations that are to be built, right? But we said, okay, great. You know, what about planting more trees? What about in all the streets and all the places where people are taking public transportation and there's no shade and they're walking down a long street? What about all the schools that need school greening plans so that when kids go out for recess, they're not just sitting in hot asphalt and trying to find shade next to the wall of the building? What about that? What about an urban forestry plan for LA? And you know what the city council people told us? They said, that is great. We should totally do that. We really need that. But you know, that's going to cost money. And we're not hearing from people in LA that they want us to do that. We're not hearing the people demand that we do that. And so, you know, there's a budget and we have to make decisions. So there's a lot of work ahead. There's a lot of work on the national level. It's very serious. But there's also a lot we can do here in LA. And I want to end with one thing. When you plant a tree in the ground, it takes 5 years for that tree to be big enough and strong enough that it can go out on its own. Kind of like with kids, how we have to really be with them so intensely until they're ready to go off to kindergarten. Well, trees need the same thing. So I'm inviting all of you to be part of the community that plants those trees all across our city and keeps them alive so they can be healthy and grow strong. Because when they're healthy, we're healthy. Have to do with
should we organize something as a group to work with Elissa?
Yeah, we'd love to. Are you guys going to come hike with us the day after Thanksgiving? Okay.
Yes.
We're meeting at 11 a.m. At the bottom of Fryman Canyon at the parking lot. We do have our own parking lot up at Coldwater Canyon and Mulholland. So if you're not physically able to do that hike, you can park up at the top of the trail and still meet us at the outdoor amphitheater where we're going to do the group meditation. And these are flyers for getting involved and for becoming a member. Questions? You went to us on a field trip? That's awesome. Yeah, we have something called Eco Tours. We have 10,000 kids from all parts of the city and they come to the park every year. And for some of them, it's the first time they've ever been in a big urban park. So it's fun. Question?
The first time in, I'm not going to tell you how many years, I've actually had a green space. It's so exciting. And I planted a tree. And the damn thing is taking more water than anything else, I think even more than my showers. How much water? I mean, I feel really guilty feeding my tree.
So that is a great question. And actually, we just had somebody call into our helpline today. Don't feel guilty about feeding your tree water, because what happens is that when a tree gets big, its root system spreads out. And so all of the water that comes down that normally goes into the street and mixes with pollution and goes into the LA River and goes into our oceans and pollutes our oceans, the tree captures that, it filters that water and it pushes it down into the groundwater table. Those are the aquifers that help fill up our reservoirs that then give us clean sources of drinking water. So don't feel guilty about feeding your tree water because you're just helping your own water supply down the road. And you can put a bucket in your shower, and while you're waiting for the shower water to get hot, capture the water and feed your tree with that water. Next question.
You say that they don't hear from us about greening. Is there somebody we can contact and say, hey, green the city?
For the city, so we are trying to build an advocacy base for the urban forest. So the first thing to do is join our newsletter and get involved. And we also have a volunteer number, and you can call in specifically and say, I would like to be active around that issue. And then we'll be organizing people to go to city council. Great. Other questions? Thank you so much.